Hello, everyone. Welcome to Candle Channel. In this lesson, you're going to know about what is respiratory system and its respiratory tract regions. Let's start firstly. Let's know what is respiratory system. The respiratory system is the basic element of the transport system, which consists of the set of organs and tissues involved in the uptake of oxygen from the atmosphere and the release of carbon dioxide generated during aerobic respiration. Simply, we can say that respiratory system is responsible for the exchange of gases between body fluid and outer environment. The respiratory system is divided into two regions, upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract that begins in the nose, continues into the pharynx and larynx, leads to the trachea, which branch to create bronchi, and finally, down the bronchioles into the lungs. Let's learn in brief the parts of human respiratory tract. Upper respiratory tract. Upper respiratory tract includes nose and pharynx, nose. The upper respiratory tract starts with the nose. It has two nostrils, one on each side, which are entry points of air. Inside the nose, there are nasal passages that are lined with a thin layer of tissue called the nasal mucosa. This mucosa is covered in tiny hairs called cilia and contains mucus-producing cells. The cilia help to filter out dust, particles, and bacteria from the air, while the mucus traps these substances and keeps the nasal passages moist. Behind the nasal passages, there are nasal cavities, which are hollow spaces in the skull. These cavities are divided by a thin wall called the nasal septum. The nasal cavities are lined with blood vessels that help warm the air as it passes through. The pharynx is a muscular tube located behind the nasal cavity, mouth, and larynx. It serves as a common pathway for both air and food. The pharynx is divided into three sections: the nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. The nasopharynx connects to the back of the nasal cavity, the oropharynx connects to the back of the mouth, and the laryngopharynx connects to the larynx and esophagus. The pharynx plays a vital role in the respiratory and digestive systems. It helps with the passage of air from the nose to the lungs and allows food and liquids to pass from the mouth into the esophagus for digestion. So the pharynx acts as a pathway for both air and food, connecting the nasal cavity, mouth, and larynx. Its function is to serve as a pathway for air and food.